Alright guys, welcome back to another installment of First Impressions in Genshin, where this series is catered around helping beginner players understand and navigate the game a little bit better. Now, in today's video, we're going to be specifically talking about what are the best characters to level up, but there's a few disclaimers that we have to go ahead and mention. First and foremost, this game is PvE oriented, so what that means is without any quote-unquote meta and without any PvP, it really boils down to which characters that you like the most and which characters you're excited about the most. And then that is the character that you should level up, because in this game, if you put enough time and resource into any character, they can be absolutely fantastic for you and be able to complete the content that's within it, at least up until this point so far. So keep that in mind. Also, when I talk about the characters that you should be leveling up, or the best ones that I believe you should, it's just my opinion and my 2 cents, so I would implore you to go down in the comments below and let me know your guys' opinion on what you think. But anyways, with all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump straight into it. Hu Tao, they don't wanna see us together, but it don't matter, no, cause I got you, girl. Hu Tao, they don't wanna see us together, but it don't matter, no, cause I got you, girl. Yeah, so we're talking about, oh my gosh, I don't know what happens after the intro, but anyways, we're gonna be talking about the best characters that I think you should be leveling up. And once again, this is just my opinion and 2 cents. And also keep in mind, if the characters that I speak about that I think you should be leveling up, if you don't have them on your account, then obviously this would be a character that you can look forward to in the future. And once again, whichever character that you have on your account, if you put enough time and resources into them, they're going to be able to complete the content for you and perform beautifully. So keep that in mind as well. Okay, so I just wanted to quickly interject here and clarify something, because I noticed while I was editing the video, I didn't make this point apparent. So when we're talking about the best characters to level up, we're talking about to about level 80 or 90. Now the reason for that is because when it comes to the resources that it takes to level a character up, they're very finite and we don't get enough of them. So you have to be very strategic on what characters you're looking to level up and what characters you're looking to invest those resources into. So I just want to make the clarification that it's about level 80 to level 90. Most of the DPS characters are going to be level 90 if you really like those characters. And then for supports, usually level 80 I think is adequate or sufficient. I don't think you really necessarily need to get them any higher than that, unless once again you really enjoy those characters or you like them a lot. Okay, so let's go ahead and get back to the video. Now the very first character I did want to go ahead and speak about is Venti. Venti, I think everybody knows this up until this point, but once again, if you're brand new to the game or a beginner and you're not aware, Venti is one of the best characters in the game that you can obtain, in my opinion. I think he's probably, I would put him top 5, easily probably top 3, just because of his supporting capabilities, and he can actually be a pretty decent damage dealer just depending on your build and how you equip him. So to be able to equip Venti is fairly easy. It's not very difficult at all. Constellations are not needed on Venti by any means, and he's really good because of his elemental skill, but more primarily because of his elemental burst, because they're able to group enemies up, and because he's able to, when they infuse other elemental reactions into it, allow your other characters to do more damage. He is able to get energy back fairly quickly also, so you can pop ult often. So Venti is just all around a very great character to go ahead and level up. Now, you don't necessarily have to get him to level 90 in my opinion. I think you can get him to level 80 and he'll be absolutely fantastic, and that will probably go for most characters. You can get them to level 80 and they'll be able to complete the content in the game. Now, if there's a character that you really enjoy or like, then of course you can get them to level 90 if you want to. But certain characters like Venti and other supports, primarily their supporting roles, you don't necessarily have to get them to the 90 in my opinion. But Venti just makes the game easier from just an entire content standpoint, and he is a character that will just help you progress through the game really without any difficulties, and he's great for exploration and things of that nature. Now, the other character I did want to go ahead and speak about is Big Daddy Zhongli. I mentioned this before in previous videos. I think Zhongli is one of the best, if not the best character in the game. Because of his kit and his utility, he is such a great supporting character and can do some good damage on his elemental burst, once again just depending on your build for him. Now, he is fairly easy to build as well, so that's really nice, and constellations are not necessarily needed on him, but albeit if you do get constellations, makes him a lot better of a character. But his main shtick and what makes him such a great character is his elemental skill, being able to provide you that shield and then being able to debuff the enemy, lowering their resistance, allowing your other characters to be able to hit harder. And then his elemental burst is one of the best, if not the best elemental burst in the game, probably next to Venti's, that drops this massive meteor. It petrifies the enemy and does some tremendous damage. So Zhongli is just all around such a great character. Like Venti, he makes the game a lot easier for you because you can pop that shield on, which fortifies, by the way, when it gets attacked, so it gets stronger. It's really tanky, and it allows you to be able to make more mistakes and not get punished for it all that often. And then once again, dropping his elemental burst so you can petrify the enemy, so it has some crowd control, some CCing abilities, and it does good damage. And then you can switch out to your other characters and do really, really good stuff. So Zhongli, an absolutely fantastic character that you can go ahead and level up. But once again, with Zhongli, you don't necessarily have to get him to 90. You can get him to level 80 and he'll still perform beautifully for you. Now, moving over to the girl Ganyu, once again, so all these characters obviously that we're talking about are within the top 5 best characters in the game, and Ganyu is no exception. Some people argue she's actually number 1, and I wouldn't refute that, excuse me. So Ganyu, such a great character, because not only is she a hard hitter with the double charge attack, but she also has great supporting capabilities for your team. With her being cryo and being able to proc the melt comps is really nice as well. And because of her supporting capabilities within her kit, makes her such a good teammate. So you can pop down her elemental skill, which will taunt the enemies, and then you can pop her elemental burst, which has a large AoE. It lasts for a really long time. It applies the cryo pretty well and does some decent damage also. And then you can go ahead and get into range if you would like and start popping your double charge shots, which does dummy damage. And Ganyu is just such a overall fantastic character, and she is one that I would recommend getting to 90 because she's able to do good damage within her charge shots, but she's such a great supporter as well. So it's a character that I would recommend getting to 90 if you're going to get any of them to 90. And she's easy to build. You put Wanderer, 4-piece Wanderer Troop or 4-piece Blizzard Strayer. As you can see, I have a free-to-play weapon for it in the Prototype Crescent, which performs beautifully, or you can even go with the Black Cliff, whichever you prefer. But an absolutely fantastic character to be able to build, and is going to make the game of Genshin Impact so much easier for you as you progress and move forward. Now, the next character I did want to go ahead and speak about is Big Daddy Diluc. So Diluc is one of the best, if not the best DPS in the game. He's Pyro, which is one of the best, if not the best element in the game. And he's a Claymore user who can utilize the Wolf Gravestone to its most optimal potential. And that gives him a bit of supporting capabilities for your team, as well as being Pyro as well. Diluc is such a great character all around. His constellations just allow him to hit harder, and he is a very quick Claymore user when it comes to basic attacks and his elemental skill. His elemental burst can do some really good damage also. So Diluc is just all around a absolutely fantastic DPS that if you have him on the team, and I would recommend getting him to 90 as well, he's going to be able to do really good damage and allow you to progress through the game much easier because of how much damage he can do and just simply mow the enemies down. So Diluc, an absolutely fantastic character. Now, the next one I did want to go ahead and mention, but you don't necessarily have to get him to 90. You could probably stop at 80 and be perfectly fine, is Bennett. I think everybody knows about Bennett at this point in time. Most people think he should be a 5-star or 6-star character, and once again, I won't refute you on that one. He is Pyro, so once again, one of the best elements in the game, if not the best. Absolutely easy to go ahead and build, and his talents, his talents is what really makes Bennett such a great character, and why you see him on just about every single team build. Not only every single team build, but every showcase where somebody's trying to showcase how strong a DPS character is because of his elemental burst. It allows you to boost the attack of your allies as well as heal. So it's one of the best elemental bursts in the game, and he's just all around such a great supporter, but also a pretty decent damage dealer. His constellations are great up until C5. A lot of people don't see 6. As you can see, I did it, but I did it as a meme. And Bennett is just all around an absolutely fantastic character. So one that I would level up, but at least get him to level 80. You don't have to go any further than that. Now the next character I did want to go ahead and speak about is Xingqiu. Xingqiu is such a really good character and such a great supporter to every team comp that you can put him on. He's Hydro, so you can proc those Vaporize or Permafreeze team builds. And his elemental burst and elemental skill is such a fantastic one for your team. He's able to provide a shield, do a bit of healing, as well as with his elemental burst. When your other allies are attacking, they're dropping rain swords, and so you can get constant Vaporize comps going and constant freeze comps, going. And it also allows your allies to be able to hit harder also. So Xingqiu, really good character. Constellations are great, easy to build. Put a sacrificial sword on him and just, you know, you can get, as you can see, I only have him at level 60. You can get him to like 70 or 80. Don't really have to go beyond that, and he'll perform beautifully for you. So such a good character in Xingqiu right there. Now, the next character that I did want to go ahead and speak about is Jean. So I think Jean is such a fantastic character, and I don't know if she's a bit underestimated in my opinion, but I just don't think enough people speak about Jean. And she's such a balanced character because she can do damage because of her physical damage that she's able to output. But she is a great supporter for the team within her elemental burst because it does heal and it does some damage. Her elemental skill is really nice, being able to pull the enemy, so you got a bit of CCing capabilities right there. And I just think Jean is a jack of all trades. She's really well balanced, can do damage for you, can support the team. Jean is absolutely fantastic, and I adore this character. So of course I had to go ahead and make sure that I mentioned Jean. Now, the next character I wanted to speak about is Hu Tao. Now, Hu Tao, I think, is one that you should get to level 90. Of course, if you enjoy this character and you like her gameplay style, but she is Pyro. We already talked about that. And she is one of the hardest hitters in the game, if not the hardest hitter in certain situations. She does sacrifice HP to be able to get a massive damage output, but you can put her on any team because she's Pyro and just pop her elemental skill. She has the self heals, so she's not relying on another character to provide her those heals, and she is able to do some good damage. So Hu Tao, absolutely fantastic, and one that if you have her, I think you should build her, and I think you should get her to level 90. And she is going to be one of your main DPSs, if not your main DPS character, and do really well for you. Now, moving on from there, I did want to go ahead and make sure that I mentioned Mona. Now, Mona is such a great supporting character, but in the right situations can do some really good damage as well. Mona is able to support the team within her elemental skill and her elemental burst, where the elemental burst will allow her teammates to hit harder, and her elemental skill has a bit of a taunt. She is Hydro, so she can apply the wet status, so then you can get the freeze comps, or you can get the vaporize comps going. She has great mobility in the aspect of her dash, but it is a little bit wonky, and you got to make sure that you have it down packed, because you can't dash and move the way other characters can, so it's a little bit wonky, but you can still, it's still one of the best ones in the game, especially for exploration purposes. Alright, now the next one on the list is the boy Albedo. Now, Albedo is an absolutely fantastic character once again. Now, for him, you can get him to level 80 or 90 if you wanted to. He's a great support, and he has good elemental burst. He reminds me a lot of Zhongli. Now, you pop his elemental skill, which has a very quick cooldown, and then it allows your other characters to hit a little bit harder as well with the Solar Isotoma. And then his elemental burst, you can pop that while you have your elemental skill down, and it does really good AoE geo damage. And because he has short cooldowns, you can keep popping that elemental skill every time, and basically you bring him in, do the elemental skill, pop the elemental burst if you have it, and then switch him out, bring in your main DPS, and then allow them to hit that much harder. He is a fantastic character, and one that fits on every single team comp. I don't believe there's a spot that Albedo doesn't fit on when it comes to a team aspect. and he's fairly easy to build as well. So Albedo, such a great character, one that I would go ahead and level up if you have him on the account also. Child is a really good DPS character. He's Hydro, so once again, great for team synergy. He is a bow user, but has the ability to be a close combat user when you switch stance, so he has that technical aspect to him and that uniqueness. Fairly easy to build as well when it comes to artifacts. His constellations are not necessarily needed, although C1 is really nice. And he's just a DPS damage dealer. He hits extremely hard. His elemental burst is one of the hardest hitting elemental bursts in the game. And he does give you that ability to be range or to be close combat. So that ability to switch between the two is really nice. You can get the freeze comps going. You can get the vaporize comps going. Such a great character, and I think one that I don't know. Once again, I don't think he's underestimated. I think people understand how good Tartaglia is, but I just don't think enough people speak about him or give him enough credit, right? So Tartaglia, such a great character. Definitely get him to level 90, so that way he can output the most DPS for you. And of course, the boy Xiao. Xiao is definitely a character that's worth level 90 if you really enjoy him and you want to hyper invest and focus into him and really have the team be built around this character. He is one of the hardest hitters, if not the hardest hitters in the game. His constellations are not necessarily needed, even though C1 is nice for him as well. But if you do get him to C6, he becomes the most broken character in the game, in my opinion. And then his talents, you can pretty much level them up pretty evenly if you want to, but his elemental skill hits extremely hard and is very nice for being able to dash around, get out of certain situations, but also for exploration. His elemental burst is his bread and butter, where you go ahead and transform essentially, and then it allows him to hit harder, have better mobility, and just become an overall just really fun character to use. So Xiao, I think everybody knows, is such a great character, and you would definitely want to get him to level 90 right off the bat as soon as you get him. So Xiao, really good. Alright, now the last character I think I want to talk about is Beidou. I think Beidou is very underestimated and not spoken about enough. She is really balanced in the aspect that she can do damage, but she has some supporting capabilities with the shield and be able to apply electro pretty consistently. She is a great character overall, as well as a Claymore user, so once again she can utilize the Wolf Gravestone, be able to farm crystal ores for you, but she's just a really good, she has a full counter, so she can really be left out on the field and not have to worry about taking too much damage. She is just a great character, and once again, I don't think she's spoken about enough. I don't think people really give Beidou the credit that she deserves, and hopefully Electro will get buffed here relatively soon, and she'll be even that much better for you. Those were the characters that I would recommend leveling up. I know we did speak about a lot of characters, but I just wanted to make sure that I covered what most people would consider characters worth leveling up. Now, of course, there are many other characters that you can focus on and level up, and I know I'm going to get comments about certain characters that I didn't mention, like Razor, like Xinyan, like Xiaoling, or Zhongli, like Kuching, like Fischl. All these characters are worth leveling up. Ningguang, Noel, all these characters are worth leveling up. And once again, it's just a preference. It's whichever character you like the most, and it's whichever character you want to invest the time and resources into. Once again, keep in mind, this is just my subjective opinion. This is just what I believe and what characters I would prioritize or level up. But once again, let me know in the comments down below which characters you would level up, and let me know in the comments down below who have you leveled up and who have you gotten to level 90. I'm curious to see which characters you have actually got to level 90. If you're a veteran of the game. Obviously my beginners won't have the ability to do that, so my veterans, let me know. Beginners, those are the characters that I would focus on. But anyways, guys, I do hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you like what you see. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Remember to stand out, be different, have fun, go further beyond in everything that you do. And until next time, my boys, until next time, it's your homie Cody GT, and I'm out. Bye, guys.